Hello, everybody. Welcome to Shanks and Sandbaggers. Today is Wednesday, March 15th. Max, my friend, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Excited to be here. Love being here and ready to talk some golf.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. We're here today, a day ahead of the 2023 Valspar Championship. Today's episode will cover a little preview of the course there in Palm Harbor, Florida, Copperhead. We'll also look at the field, all the players that'll be there this week. We'll get into some predictions later in the show, and we'll start here with the golf news in recent days. The USGA and R&A, the Royal and Ancient Golf Club, based in St. Andrews, home of golf, has proposed a new rule for the golf ball. They're looking at how manufacturers will potentially change the golf ball, how it will travel. They're looking at reducing the distance, and how this might all affect how the players will perform and how scores will ultimately be affected.
Yeah, no, I think that's well said. That's exactly, how the rule is laid out. I think it's worth mentioning that it's only a local rule, though. So it can be put in place by tournament officials and committees, but it won't affect the casual player. It won't affect me and Chuck here. It won't affect you and your buddies going out casually on a Saturday. You'll still be able to play the exact same ball that you have, forever.
That is an important note.
Yeah, it's only going to affect probably, I would say, from the USAM and tournaments of that caliber and up.
Yes.
So any major amateur tournament, whether it's, the women's AM, the US men's AM, anything like that, and onward all the way up to the PGA Tour level is where these balls are probably going to be put into place.
I think it's still a little up in the air, and obviously we'll see more in the coming weeks, but I thought I saw that potentially they might be doing it in collegiate tournaments. And whatnot.
Which I wouldn't be surprised if it was done in collegiate golf either, just because a lot of the, most of the PGA Tour all come from a college background and playing in that competitive nature, so I wouldn't be surprised at all to see that put in.
Yep.
But, just doing some research, reading about it a little bit, it's a very long process. I don't know how much you read into it and how much you looked into it, but this is only step one in this is the first step in a 4-step process, as how I understood it.
Yeah.
And it's quite a long process. It, is proposed to this committee first, and then there's almost like a trial period, which is going to be this summer, where they're going to be maybe taking some more stats, getting some more numbers, and then reevaluating in August, where then they can actually, make a educated decision based off of some numbers that they've collected throughout the season.
Right. Get a little feedback to see if it's worth employing in the PGA Tour and in other professional tours.
Exactly. And this won't even take place until 2026.
Yeah.
So it won't even really become a huge factor or a thing for a while. And who knows? We don't even know if it's going to get passed.
Right.
From what I've seen, it sounds like it's probably a thing.
Yeah.
But like I said, you never know. It could be shut down because this is not the first time that they've brought dialing back the golf ball or making clubs less effective to hit the ball, further.
Right. No, I've seen all the same things, and I think, like, try and explain it the best way I understand it is, I think the reason behind it is to simply put, to reduce the distance that they're hitting it. I mean, over the past actually, I have a stat for you. Over the past 20 years, I saw in 2003, I believe the average driving distance on tour was 286.
Wow.
And so far this year, the average driving distance is 297.
Wow.
So it's a bit different, and I think they're trying to reduce a little bit of distance so that courses don't have to keep up with the gradually increasing distance and having to move tee boxes back or otherwise manipulate the golf course and resources, and which in turn costs them more money. I mean, just it makes sense. That's the point, is trying to keep up with costs and whatnot, eliminating such a drastic change year to year.
Yeah, I mean, they're taking away my bomb, so I'm not a huge fan.
Right?
No, not
big
that
hitters.
Not that I hit it super crazy long, but no, yeah, that's exactly right. And it, to your point, you can only make golf courses so long. Like,
Right.
Golf courses are kind of set at a certain distance, and some courses are able to move tee boxes back or extend a hole by 20 yards, but not everyone has the ability to do that.
Right.
So they need to compensate for these professional athletes that are just getting stronger, getting healthier, more fit, that, just come with time.
Yeah.
The times are changing. The athletes that are on the PGA Tour these days are very dedicated to their workout routine, to, what they're eating, their diet, different things like that, so they can be the strongest person to hit the golf ball further. It's no surprise or shock to any of us that driving distance and being able to hit the ball further is a significant advantage on the PGA Tour, yet alone just in your casual everyday golf. If you're hitting the ball consistently 300 yards, you're going to have a shorter club in your hand going into the green. Usually that ends up, higher percentages of getting it closer to the hole, and then, closer to the hole, shorter putts, easier putts, you're making more of them and shooting lower scores.
Right. Yes. I mean, there's certainly, you and I both know there's a difference. If I'm hitting my drive 300 plus into the middle of the fairway and I have 115 or less going into the green, it's relatively easier to try and pin hunt with a lofted wedge or what have you, as opposed to trying to land a lower lofted 7-6-5 iron into the green and have it funnel down to the pin or what it is. So yeah, the degree of difficulty will certainly increase if the distance is ultimately reduced with these proposed changes.
100%. Although I do think that the long hitters are always going to be the long hitters.
Yes.
I do see it taking an effect and changing, the players and the way the game maybe is played to a certain extent, but I don't see it affecting a huge majority or changing the game too much where it's such a different game. Right? Like, I think, just to name a few, Rory, Scotty, John Rahm, all these guys who are known for hitting the ball super long.
Yep.
I don't think it's going to take an effect on them, because from what I saw, it's going to take about 20 yards off of their drives.
Yes.
Which is significant for sure. That could be 2 clubs.
Absolutely.
Depending.
Yes.
But they're still going to be the long hitters. They're still going to be hitting the ball far. I mean, sometimes I'm watching golf and I see them, they're carrying the ball 310 yards, rolls out 20-30, and you just hit a drive 335.
Crazy.
Which, I mean, is wild and super fun to see.
Yep.
But I don't think it changes their approach all too much.
Yes. It's I think you said 20 yards. I think I saw a 15-yard gap or difference in a potential ball change. Yeah. I mean, it's not playing well and being successful on the tour, I don't think is dependent on how far you hit the golf ball, but and that's kind of why it goes back to mostly affecting golf courses and how they play and how they take care of their course year in and year out.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, and there's a ton of science behind it too. I won't get into the
no doubt
swing speed and revs per minute and club head speed, different things like that all come into effect. But I saw a video that the USGA put out that made a good point that, again, we're doing this now as a preemptive approach to people just getting stronger and stronger. Because I saw a similar stat to what you said about driving distance. For the past 40 years, driving distance has gone up 1 yard per year, which is just going to continue to go up. So they're going to make this preemptive action to bring it back down, because again, in another 30-40 years, we're going to have the same thing where we're going to have to dial it back again.
Right.
I think. I don't know, but that's how it seems.
And to me, it doesn't seem, I mean, yeah, certainly each year you might get a little bit greater driving distance or just distance in general, but a yard, 10 yards, I mean, 10 yards might be a bit much, but a yard a year doesn't seem all that crazy to me. I mean, certainly you look at it in increments, and if it gets too absurd too quick, then you might dial it back a bit to keep in line with how courses will play and how they maintain their courses and whatnot. But it is interesting to think about.
Yeah, I mean, just to put it in an example, right? The average golfer's club head speed is 93 miles an hour.
Okay.
The average tour pro is upwards of 110.
Ooh.
So, I mean, it's a significant gap. I mean, that's what, 17 miles per hour difference. Again, these are the best golfers in the world. They are athletes. It's their job. They, go to the gym. They follow a strict diet. They make sure that they are prepared and, as physically fit as they can be.
Yep.
to each their own. They all have a different approach, but the best of the best are making sure that they're doing that.
Yep. John Rombo, for example.
Exactly. And I mean, unfortunately, not all of us are going to be able to hit it as consistently and as far as them. That's just the nature of the game.
Exactly.
So it's interesting to see just how those numbers compare, and eventually I think swing speeds are just going to go up and get higher and higher because people are going to compensate for the changes to the golf ball, and then they're still going to just find new ways to be able to incorporate more strength and more power into hitting this golf ball to make it go just as far as the last one.
Agreed. And then maybe just the last thing on this topic. Interesting that they're going after the golf ball instead of the club or something like that. I mean, certainly there are different companies and brands that might put up a fight, or just it's interesting that they're going for. Well, I mean, it's different companies and manufacturers making golf balls, so I wonder why they go after the golf ball as opposed to the technology in a club or a driver.
I don't know, to be honest. I don't know
maybe it's the most effective or efficient way is to go right after the golf ball as opposed to all the technology in a club.
And I agree. I think it's maybe the easiest route to solving this because we all know we've all hit Pro V1s and then we've all hit top flights.
Yeah.
Not to bash on that.
Top rocks.
Yeah, it feels like feels like I'm hitting this solid concrete rock.
Yeah, how fun is that?
Tee,
love that.
As opposed to something softer and something made to perform.
Yes.
And I think it's easier to maybe find a happy medium between those golf balls that is conformable for the PGA Tour.
Yeah.
Or, for these elite level tournaments.
Yes.
As opposed to changing an entire club dynamic.
Yep. No, I agree. Just, I'm sure we'll see more here in the coming weeks, but.
And more is going to come out. And like I said with the trial, the trial period is going to be this summer.
Yes.
So the USGA and the RNA have proposed it now, and now it's not going to be put into effect, but everything's going to be evaluated a little bit more.
Yeah.
And the USGA and golf ball makers alike are going to be paying a little bit closer to yardages and numbers probably throughout the year, just so that they have something to refer to in August when they meet again to talk about it, and then they'll make their next steps on where to go from there.
Yep. I love it. Cool.
Got anything else on this?
No, I think that covers it.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, do you want to jump into some stats? You want to do a little course preview?
Yeah, let's do some stats. I got a fun stat for you. I'm going to start doing some research every week. I'm going to throw a crazy Tiger Woods stat at you, or just a crazy stat in general, and I just want you to blind react to
I love it. All right. That's a new thing. We're going to do that.
So the one that I found this week, kind of relevant to last week's win. It refers to Scottie Scheffler and the first 100 PGA Tour events that he has played in comparison to other very successful and well-known players, Tiger being one of them. So in the first 100 PGA Tour events that Scottie Scheffler played in, he has won 6.
Okay.
Including last week. The Players was his 6th win. It was in 97 events, so it could go up. But in 97 events, he's won 6. To put it in frame of reference, DJ won 5 times in his first 100. Bryson won 5 times. Phil won 7. JT won 7. Spieth 8. Rory 11. Tiger 24.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Tiger's on another level. That's just absurd. Oh my. Crazy.
And I mean, I just laugh at that. Not even laugh. It's just it's crazy to think that Scottie has been on such a run and playing so well these past 2 years, give or take, and he's not even close. He's a fourth of what Tiger was.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the Tiger Woods show, but it's you just have to admire those stats and just recognize the dominance and what he's done.
Yeah. So I mean, it kind of, I think, puts some things into perspective of like other casual well, for sure, but the casual fans can be like, oh, Scottie's playing so well, blah blah blah, and then it's like, you haven't even seen it. You haven't seen
Try
nothing.
me.
Yeah. Like, game on. Tiger's out there sitting, just kind of perusing Twitter, eyes open, like, oh yeah.
I'm seeing it all.
Let me drop this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but yeah, I'm gonna start throwing some stats at you.
Do
Anyways,
it.
That's
I'll be here for it.
Okay.
Cool.
So that's this week.
Awesome.
Moving on. Where do you want to go?
We haven't talked too much about. Well, I mean, it changes every week, but the FedEx Cup standings or even the official World Golf Ranking.
Yeah.
Have you taken a look at that recently at all, or
I looked at
familiar?
the World Golf Ranking today. Not that I haven't looked at the FedEx Cup standings though.
All right, cool. It's not. I mean, it's a little different. So, Scotty's number one ranked in the world, just with pushed him over the top with this win last week at Sawgrass. John Rahm is leading the FedEx Cup points. Max Homa is actually second in the FedEx Cup.
Yeah. Well, he's won what, twice?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then Scotty's third.
Okay.
Cool. And then the World Golf Rankings, this is now
Mm-hmm.
Scotty, John, Rory, Patrick Cantlay, and then Cam Smith is fifth still.
Still.
Yep. I'll just go through the top 10.
Max
Homa. Yep.
Yeah,
You got
Max
Max.
is up.
Xander, Will Zalatoris, Victor Hovland, and then JT rounds out the top 10 with the 10th spot.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was interesting.
How many of those players are in the top 10 of the FedEx Cup? Like majority of them, give or take.
John, Scotty,
Max,
and I don't.
Is
Rory. I bet Rory's in the top 10. I only have the top 5 here
Okay.
for the FedEx Cup, but I think Rory's will be in there. I was a little shocked to see. Well, not shocked, but Patrick Cantlay, number 4 in the world right now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that Will Zalatoris. He's 8 in the world right now. I don't think he has that many.
I don't think so. He took some
FedEx
time
Cup,
off too because he had some back injury, I think,
And that's why.
he's been recovering. So he's just getting back into tournament play.
Yep. I just wanted to mention that. We haven't mentioned it, and it's fun to look at each week to see how they're moving around.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right, cool. Let's preview the course. Unless you have some other stats. You have some other stats?
No, I'm good. Let's jump into the golf course.
Cool. All right, let's have a look. It is Copperhead Course in Palm Harbor, Florida.
Mm-hmm.
I believe I saw it's 3.5 hours away from Sawgrass, just as a reference for travel.
And this resort almost, they have 4 courses.
Okay.
But they're playing Copperhead
Yes.
Course.
Yep.
So
All right.
Just reference.
Fun fact. Love that fun fact. Par 71, playing just a little north of 7,300 yards.
Yeah, 7341
Yes.
is the exact number that I saw.
Yep. Saw that as well. I think maybe you have a little on this, but I know the total purse will be 8.1 mil.
Yep.
Cool. Not a designated tournament, but that's still considerable.
Yep.
And then the last sort of technical thing I'll mention, going out is par 36.
Yeah.
Coming back in is a 35. The front 9 has featured 2 par 5s and 2 par 3s. Back 9 a little different. It'll have 2 5s and 3 3s.
Yeah.
Cool.
Totally. And 2 things that I just want to mention.
Yeah.
Larry Packard design.
Yep.
He's the architect behind this. And course record 61.
Ooh!
So 10 under.
Cool.
It's been done twice, I believe, is what I found in my research.
All right.
And we'll see if anyone can go lower.
I know it will. Part of our predictions, if you don't already know, is the high and low tournament scores for the week. So we'll get into that in just a bit.
I think moving on from that, I think the most interesting part of this entire golf course is the snake pit.
Yeah.
I think it's very well known, and I think most people, when they hear about Copperhead, and then maybe they don't recognize it at first, but they see that Copperhead snake statue that they have as you're entering it, they're like, oh, this is that course.
Yep.
This is that one. You know?
It sneaks up on you a little, I bet.
It's similar to like an Amen corner, similar to like the Bear Trap, where you have a stretch of holes that the course is known for that because they're challenging, because they're historic, or something that draws attention to those 3 holes.
Excitement.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Excitement, tournament altering kind of holes where you can make or break your entire fate.
Potential and punishing.
Yes.
2 words.
Yeah, good way to put it.
Cool.
So, in this case, the snake pit is 16, 17, and 18.
Mm-hmm.
Hole names go by Moccasin, the Rattler, excuse me, and Copperhead is the finishing hole. So, going off of that, going into 16, it's a par 4, 475 yards. It is dubbed one of the hardest holes on the PGA Tour. I saw somewhere in a couple things that I was reading that it was ranked the 5th hardest hole according to some to some other people. I think I have track tips on here.
All right.
I was reading about it, looking into it. Lots of people don't like this hole, man.
Yeah.
And I watched a flyover. I went over it, and it looks brutal.
I mean, considering how many holes they play during a PGA Tour schedule, that's a pretty significant stat. Pretty crazy hole.
I mean, it's 475 to begin with.
Yeah.
Like that's a longer four just from the start, right?
It is.
But then I watched this flyover. There's water all along the right side, which not great. And then the fairway is super narrow. And if you don't hit the right shot shape, that's another thing. This course kind of doesn't favor, similar to last week, doesn't really favor a certain shot shape.
Yep.
But if you don't hit a little bit of a cut, almost a fade into this fairway, you risk going through the fairway and into the trees and woods. Also, a lot more tree line than I thought for being in Florida. I mean, I know that, there's a lot of trees to begin with, taller trees, but I felt like Sawgrass had a lot more water, maybe a little bit more of open area. These stretch of holes, this stretch of holes seemed more tree lined, for lack of a better term.
I think the course Copperhead as a whole is a little more constricted as far as fairways go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe, it's probably by design. It's probably comes to limitations that they had when they were, making the course and going from there. But just something that I kind of noticed. But this whole 16 looks, I wouldn't want to play it. I mean, I want to play it.
Yeah,
but
we do. We do.
But man, I would be intimidated. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
And then the green itself. I mean, the water is all along the right, fairway on the left, and then it just continues to wrap all the way to the right.
It does.
And
bend.
there's kind of a small opening as your approach to the green. It's an uphill approach. It's guarded by 2 bunkers. It's not easy to get to. So I am not surprised that the players are, against this whole, not against it, but they are a little intimidated.
I'm sure they don't look forward to this stretch of holes. I mean,
it's definitely when you're standing on the tee and you're like, I walk away with par and I am smooth sailing.
Totally okay with that.
Yeah. You make birdie, probably feels like an eagle.
Yep.
It's
a little boost of energy, I'm sure, to finish off the last 2. And
yeah.
No, it'll be good.
So then 17, the Rattler. It is a par 3, 215 yards, all uphill though.
Okay.
It kind of requires a similar shot. It requires a fade. It's the largest green on the course though. It's 43 yards deep, so it's got some depth. But it doesn't make it easy to hit by any means.
No
it's
doubt.
guarded by bunkers. There's bunkers on the left, right, and on the back. So you really have you got a tricky up and down potentially if you're not hitting the green.
Good iron play is required.
Yeah. But this is the whole, right? Like when you see pictures or maybe you see the course itself, you see that the bush lettering that they do behind the tee box that spells out Copperhead. This is that hole.
Signature.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is the hole that comes to mind when I hear Copperhead. This is kind of what I can envision.
Same.
I couldn't remember exactly what number it was, but I knew it was in the snake pit. Couldn't remember which one it was, but now it totally makes sense.
Yep.
So, and then wrapping it up, 18, Copperhead. It's a 445-yard par 4. And other than the fact that it's entirely uphill, there's really not much to it. It seems kind of straightforward. There's a huge bunker in front and on the left, and then a bunker kind of on the back right. Also, quite large. So your approach and hitting the right club into the green is important, because if not, you're going to have a lot of sand to be possibly working with. But other than that, it didn't seem, too treacherous. I think 16 and 17 are more demanding.
Yeah, so 18 typically, I think you said, will play a little shorter than 16.
Yes.
All right, cool. Just trying to get a hold of the old signature holes on the finish there at Copperhead. Anything?
No, it's 30 yards shorter than 16.
So a little bit, nothing major.
16 is generally flat except for the approach. The approach goes a little uphill. 18 is, from what I saw, pretty uphill the entire way.
Okay.
So it can, get longer.
Yeah.
From that aspect, you're
certainly
playing a club or 2 up on your approach, or depending on conditions, you never know.
Yep.
But other than that, I didn't really see it. It was all in front of you.
Yeah.
For lack of a better term, it was all right there where you saw what you had to deal with. There were no blind shots, no tricks, and you just had to navigate it correctly.
Yep. Oh, we'll be getting familiar with the course. Watch the pros do it. See them dissect it.
Yeah.
See some good golf. All right, let's talk about the field, but I just want to mention that the defending champion,
Sam
Burns, and it'll be a three-peat potential for a three-peat.
Well, he won last year in a playoff.
Yep, last year in a playoff, and the previous year, won in 21 and 22, both at 17 under, 267, both tournaments.
Okay,
I just want to mention that.
Yeah, I saw 17 last year. I didn't know that it was the exact same.
Yep, it's a little nutty, but
2021 wasn't a playoff. He just won outright. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Let's talk about the field. I mean, do you want to start? Or yeah, I can go. Or what are you thinking?
I was just gonna mention sort of the bigger names, the bigger household names, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's not a designated tournament, it's not. I think I saw there might be 5 of the top 25 in the official world golf rankings.
JT is the only one in the field in the top 10.
Okay. Okay. So just one.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, in the top 10, you might be right on the 25. You said top 20, but top 10 wise, Justin Thomas is 10th.
Okay.
And
there you
he's
go.
the only one in the field that is within that.
Perfect. So obviously Sam Burns, Jordan Spieth will be there. Matt Fitzpatrick, Tommy Fleetwood, Zach Johnson, Kevin Kistner, Gary Woodland, Justin Rose, and then I've seen a lot of talk about Keegan Bradley.
Keegan Bradley's there. Joel Damon's gonna be there.
Joel, I forgot about Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Love Joel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, good man.
I think he got a lot of hearts after watching Full Swing.
Yep.
I think a lot of people were like, all right, this guy's legit. I'm gonna, I think I already had him favorited on my app, but
Yeah.
I think maybe a lot of people were like, bang.
He said, I think maybe you saw the same thing, but standing on, what was it, 17 tee?
Yes.
He just could feel the love, and that's awesome. I love that.
No, and it's this game's so hard that like any little positive energy can go a long way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Did he mentioned Ricky? I feel like Ricky now. I'm seeing the love.
Yeah. And that's what it's all about. I mean,
Yep. You got to enjoy it. You have to enjoy it.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, do you have anything extra about the field or?
No, yeah. Field wise, awesome. I mean, you touched on everything. Sam Burns seeking three-peat. See if he can keep the fire burning.
Yep.
Little play on words.
I wanted to check the favorites in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
All the sports books there. They have JT 1,
Yeah.
Jordan 2,
Mm-hmm.
Matt Fitzpatrick at 3, and then they I don't want to say fading Sam Burns a little, but they have him at 4. I don't know that he can three-peat. We'll see.
I mean, very hard to do.
Yes.
He hasn't really been playing his best golf as of late.
Yes, I agree. I think he started hot-ish, but the last couple of weeks, I think maybe it was the Genesis, or he missed a cut in recent weeks.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how well he's done after that, but yes. I actually have a fun stat you reminded me.
Yeah, hit me.
Do you just give me one good guess on who the last person to win 3 consecutive years at the same tournament, the three-peat? Who was the last person to three-peat?
Was it Tiger?
It was not Tiger. I mean, he's done it, but he wasn't the most recent.
Okay, he wasn't the most recent.
But that is an excellent guess.
Yeah,
I mean, Tiger.
Tiger's probably got every stat out there.
Yep.
Three-peat at the same tournament, huh?
He's well known enough-ish, but it would be, if you guessed it, I would be surprised.
Is he a PGA Tour player, or is he on the tour we don't talk about?
He's not on the tour we don't talk about, but I bet he is on the Champions Tour. At least has probably played on the Champions Tour.
Okay.
The Champions Tour, for those that don't know, is the senior tour.
So it's not Phil. I can't.
Not Phil.
Yeah.
Not Phil.
But he's 50 plus. Steve Stricker.
Oh my God, you got it!
Let's go!
Wow, what a guess.
Go.
All right, give me some skin.
Go.
Wow. Okay, so he won the John
Deere? Yeah,
John Deere
I
from
remember
2009 to 2011.
Let's
that was
go.
a hell of a guess. That was a hell of a guess.
That was.
All right, mad kudos to you, brother.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. No, I just thought because Sam Burns has potential to three-peat, I was just curious and wanted to look up who had done it last, if ever. Tiger Woods was, I believe, before Steve Stricker, and I don't remember the tournament that he won 3 years in a row.
Tiger?
Yes.
Probably done it a couple times.
Yeah.
No.
Honestly. Yeah. No, but I thought that was fun to look at, so. Good guess.
Hey,
Love
thank
that.
you. Yeah. Hey, I know ball.
Yep. I know
we're,
ball.
We're dimple heads.
Yeah. Dimple heads. Hey, mark that down. # dimple heads. We're going to start something with that. I like that. Dimple heads. Have you seen that, or you just come up with that?
I've heard it a couple times,
Right.
but I think it's very casual. But
Right.
I don't know.
Okay. Anyway. Anything else about the field? We'll get into predictions here soon, unless you want to mention a couple things, or if you're good to go.
No, not. I took some note of some featured groups, or just some groups that were kind of highlighted some of the bigger names. Jordan Spieth, Sam Burns, and Gary Woodland are all going to be playing together. Justin Thomas, Joel Damon, and JT Poston are going to be playing together.
So Joel and JT are in the same group.
Joel, JT, and JT.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. That's me.
JT and the other JT. We won't specify who's who.
All right.
Yeah, moving on. And then we got Justin Rose, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Tommy Fleetwood that'll be playing together.
Cool.
Those are, some. I saw Keegan Bradley's group too. I forget who he's walking around the course with, but
It doesn't matter. We'll find out soon enough.
yeah. All right. You want to do picks? And
Yes, I
wrap it up?
do. Yes, I do.
You want to go first? You want me to go first?
Do you remember who went first last week?
Yeah, you went first.
All right. Your turn, buddy.
Okay. You want to go high-low first then?
Yep.
I got a high of 80 this year.
Ooh.
Not too high. I looked into it. I was doing some research because last week it was an 89. So, I was like, whatever. No, but I got 80. Last year, the highest score posted was an 81 by one person.
Wow. Okay.
The second highest score, I think, was 79. Not to say that that's going to happen again, but I'm going to just go with the trends, stick with 80. Being a par 71, I want to say that there's maybe an extra stroke to be,
Sure.
add. But yeah, we're going to go with 80. Low, 63.
Oh, wow.
Again, we're going...
What a round.
Yeah, well, what a round, but I also saw there was a 62 last year. There were a couple 63s, or maybe one 63. But it's doable. I mean...
Yeah, no doubt. I think I saw the course record was 61.
Yeah, 61.
Okay. Just for fun. Mention that.
So that's what I got. What you rolling with?
My high is going to be 83.
Okay. Why?
Why
are you picking incorrect?
Hey, we have a couple of days. We'll find out. What did I pick last week? I think it was 81. I don't know. I guess I picked 81, 82 last week, and then we had a whopper of an 89, and so I thought maybe I'd bump it up. But it being a par 71, I don't know. I guess I'm just going to hope that someone has a real bad day. I mean, I don't hope that on anyone, but we'll see. No reason in particular. And then the low, I have 65.
65.
Again, there's no particular reason. I'm just throwing numbers out here and hoping they hit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Okay. You want to do winning score, or you want to do that with the winner?
Yeah, why don't you go 5, 4, 3, 2, winner, and then your winning score.
Okay. Come in at number 5, I got Matt Fitzpatrick.
Okay, good pick.
He played well last year. I think he finished T3, maybe solo 3. He is kind of, been quiet to start the season, but I think he's going to get it going. I think he knows that major championship runs are coming up, and that stretch of golf, he's just trying to get warmed up for it.
He's due for a good tournament.
Yeah. Number 4, I got Tommy Flowood.
Yeah.
Because he's got all that flow
Tommy
coming out.
Flow.
He also played well last week at the Players. He was kind of getting into form. I was watching his ball striking, hitting the ball super well.
Yep.
Playing well, putting well, just all around. So I think he continues that trend, keeps it going. 3, I got JT. Justin Thomas.
Yes.
I have JT coming in at 3. He has kind of been, I don't want to say all over the place, but he's kind of had up and down rounds where, like last week, he made eagle and then double.
Yeah.
And then, made a couple birdies and then a couple bogeys. It's not that he's playing bad. He's just hasn't been crazy consistent. and he hasn't been able to keep his momentum.
He just needs to string a couple holes, a couple rounds together, and then he's right there.
To get into that momentum, that flow of like, I'm making a string of birdies and kind of going on that run.
I got the flow now, and I'm going to keep it rolling.
Yes.
I know what you mean.
Because he holed out, I think, like 3 times at Sawgrass.
Yeah.
Like one from the fairway on 18, and then he chipped in twice, and he hit an insane flop. I forget what hole it was, but Chuck's a fan of the flop.
I am a huge fan of the flop.
Let me put this out there while we take a little pause.
He has to mention it
from our top picks right here. Chuck here is the guy that you have 10 yards in front of you to work with, and you're maybe 3 feet off the green, and he pulls his 60 and opens it up and flattens it like it's a 90-degree wedge. And he swings at it, trying to loft it so high because it's more fun. I get it. Is it the smart play? No.
It is not the smart play.
There's nothing in front of him either. It is a clear shot, 10 yards to the pin, little bump and run, nuzzle it up there, tap in.
Totally unnecessary, but
totally unnecessary.
But the flop is forever.
Yeah, I will take the unnecessary flop. Yeah, okay.
It's pretty.
It's fun.
No, I know. I need to stop doing that.
Nah, I mean, every now, because then when you pull it off, euphoria just
pure.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. 2. I got Sam Burns.
Ooh, just doesn't quite get it done.
I think he's played well, and he knows the golf course, clearly. He knows what he's doing. I would love... Well, I don't want to say I would love nothing more because that affects my points, but I would not be opposed to seeing a 3-peat because that is so impressive.
Oh, yeah.
That is, I mean, it's hard enough to win 1, yet alone 2, and then when you're talking about 3, you're like, oh, is that a dynasty? You know, here we go again.
Just going back to Steve Stricker in 2011, it's been more than a decade since it's been done. So
yeah,
yes,
what, you said 2009 to 2011?
Correct.
So, yeah, exactly. It is few and far between.
Yes.
This opportunity doesn't come around that often. I think the moment may be too big. Hot take. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's hot personally either, so...
I like the guy. I got nothing against him, but hey, you know... Yeah.
It's hard to do. I don't know that he gets it done. I'll just say right now, I don't have him in my top 5 at all. So, yeah.
Ooh.
A little fade.
Hot take.
Little fade to Sam Burns.
Yeah.
No shade.
Yeah. Number 1. Jordan Spieth.
Oh, wow. He gets it done.
I think he's been playing super well. He played well at, what was before the Players? No, I'm blanking on it. Not the Honda.
Genesis?
Yes. Wait, no. Or what? Maybe it was. Jordan Spieth played well. Maybe it was at the Players or somewhere. He was playing super well, and then he kind of, I don't want to say botched it, but he didn't string together the best round.
Arnold Palmer.
Yep, that's the one. He was playing well. He was in contention, and then he took a couple, I'm going to say it, stupid bogeys.
Yeah.
He took some stupid bogeys. He hit some stupid shots. Can't say that I would not make the same mistakes, but as a fan perspective, rooting for a guy and watching a professional golfer, he made some big mistakes.
I don't think he'd disagree with you.
Yeah, no, I don't think he would either. But that being said, he has been playing well, and he's in form. He's been hitting the ball well. He feels confident. He got a lucky break last week. But, you know, sometimes you got to get a little lucky in this game. Yeah, we all know that. We've played all of us have played long enough to know that you got to get a little lucky sometimes for things to work out.
I agree.
So I got him winning this week. He's the 2015 champ. I think you mentioned that earlier. He shot 10 under. My number, though, 16. 16 under, looking like a good, you know, I mean, past 2 years has been 17. Sam Burns. I think Sam Burns doesn't get it done this week. But I think Spieth prevails at 16 under par.
My number's not far off of that at all. So, yep. All right, let me get into mine. All right, I already told you. Did I already tell you my high? 83 is my high.
Mm-hmm. 65 low.
Yep. I'll just hit you with the winning score right now. It's going to be 15 under.
Okay.
So you better write that down.
Okay, yeah.
Because that'll be a point
for
moi.
I'll make sure to write that one so I'm not confused when I'm rooting for your guy to make or miss a putt on the 18th like last week.
All right, and then the 5th spot, top 5, I got Ben Griffin.
Oh, okay. He's a rookie.
Little bit of a dark horse.
No, he's been playing well. He played well last
Yep,
week. I was rooting for him too.
What? Let me look up what his.
Did you see his story? Is that what we're going to talk about?
I don't know of a story.
His backstory?
Oh yes. He's the guy that he took a couple years off of golf.
Yeah, he took like a year and a half, 2 years off, and was like doing like I think he was a loan officer or something.
Yeah, something like that. He played a round of golf with the right guy and got a little sponsorship, and here he is.
Yeah, the dude was like, "I'll pay for you to try and make the PGA Tour again," and here he is. I love it.
Yep, no, it's perfect. Besides the Pro-Am, which I don't know that I'd super count that as an official PGA Tour. I mean, it is, but. He's played in the Players, the Arnold Palmer, the Honda Classic, and the Farmers. His worst finish this year as a rookie was last week, the Players, T35.
At the Players.
So not bad at all.
No.
He's been on one.
How much money did he make? What was T35? I don't know. That you don't have to Google that. I'll look it up later.
I don't know. But he's been tearing it up. He's a good rookie.
I like it. I thought about him too because I kind of went with all chalk.
Yeah.
But
so I got him at 5. This one, no reason in particular other than trying to get lucky, to be honest. Justin Rose.
Okay. Yeah.
He's played here over the years. He knows what's up, and I just threw him in there at 4.
He played well last week too.
Yeah.
I think, give or take.
Gary Woodland at 3.
Ooh, I thought about it.
I think
he won.
Read that he's played at Copperhead pretty decent in past years. So we'll see. And I saw a fair amount of people picking him as a potential sleeper, but I threw him up there. Number 2, Keegan Bradley.
Okay.
I think he's been playing decent. He has a chance.
I don't think we've had the same player yet.
Really?
I don't think we've had.
Okay,
I'm
so this
sorry,
is gonna be a
just
good one.
Side note.
No,
I don't think we've had the same
great.
player.
Awesome. So we got some. Yeah, we got it going this week. My winner, JT. JT's
going with the favorite.
JT, yes, going with the favorite.
JT, Justin Thomas or JT Poston?
Oh, we're gonna go with Justin Thomas. Yes, I think he, like you said, he just needs to string a couple rounds together, a couple holes in a round together, and he's there. And I feel like this is a pretty good opportunity this week. It's not a enormously loaded field. So, and not to say he can't beat the best, play with the best, and beat the best.
Yeah, he came from 7 shots back in the PGA.
Yes, of course. But I think this is a pretty good week for him to get a W.
Yeah.
That's kind of why I tossed him up there.
At 15?
At 15 under par, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
You think he shoots the low 65 of the week, or you think it's someone else?
No, I don't know. Just let me just throw this out there as a prediction. I bet he just has a consistent under par every day sort of weekend.
68.
Yep. Just a workhorse that just stays. Does he go? I don't know if he goes out in the morning or the afternoon on Thursday, but
I can tell you. I have it written down. Morning, 8:29 a.m.
Cool. All right. My prediction is that he just gets off to a hot start. Keeps the lead through Thursday, Friday, maybe a touch of back and forth on moving day Saturday, but then another solid round on Sunday to take home the Valspar Championship.
All right. Well, we got the frenemies going head to head on for our number 1.
That'll be a good little story.
Team Spieth and Team Thomas.
I can only hope that they both play well this week because that'll just make it that much more fun to see them go up against each other.
You think they'll share that private jet flight back home after one of them wins?
Hey, let's go hop on the PJ.
Yeah, hey, we flew here together, so we're still going home together, right? I know you won, or I won. It was a little awkward, but
you're just gonna have to hang out a minute.
Yeah. I know you usually sit there, but the trophy's going there today.
We're gonna strap him up there. Cool.
Yeah. No. All right. Cool. You got any last final thoughts that you just want to throw out? Maybe something to just look forward to.
No final thoughts. Again, I think it'll be exciting, fun to watch. That's kind of all I have. The last thing maybe, and it's a little random that I'll mention, is I don't think the weather's going to be dissimilar to Sawgrass.
I agree. I looked it up on Saturday. I think it's supposed to rain and be a little like thunderstorm, maybe some delays.
I also saw a little windy, a little gusty.
I didn't look too far into the wind, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
I mean, it's in the bay right there. It's near Tampa, so it's. I think
we'll predict the top 5, but we're not going to predict the weather.
No, yeah. I mean, there's nothing you can do.
Yep. But that's all I have. Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
You have anything?
All I have to, last thing I'm going to say is just excited to watch. I know it's, not the biggest tournament, but a PGA Tour win is a PGA Tour win.
Yep, no doubt.
And just another one to add to the resume, and I hope Spieth is the one walking off that green.
And it is 500, I believe, FedEx Cup points, so it's nothing to scoff at.
No, it's notable.
Yep.
So
cool. All right, I think we'll be back to recap and talk about what goes down on the end of this weekend.
Yeah. I'll be out of town this weekend, coming back into town Sunday. So episode might go up Monday.
Perfect.
Monday afternoonish as opposed to maybe Monday morning, just depending on when I'm getting back and as I'm able to record.
But we'll have some.
But we will definitely have something to recap on Monday. Time TBD.
Yep.
Plan on the morning. If things change, we'll send something out, whether it's via social, and we'll make it known that don't be alarmed. It's still coming.
Yep. Nope. That'll work.
Cool.
Alrighty.
All right. Right on. We will see you guys on Sunday.
Indeed. Ciao.